Our chief guest for today, Vaishali Patange ma'am, to address the audience.
Good morning, one and all. Sarvana Namaskar. I'm more than happy to be part of your August gathering, and it's really wonderful, as said by the preceding speaker, that to see such a lively and pretty faces on the lazy Saturday morning is really a nice thing to do for a speaker. And usually it's very rare to get such young women and men in the audience, because these days young men and women are busy with the online connections. They are they're rarely available for offline connectivity. So it's my pleasure to be among you. And when Manasi and Arpita had come to me, I asked them that amongst your star achievers or alumni, is there any from the government service? They said that no, but we want our students to think about government service as one of the options, career options in their future prospects to take up. But I don't believe in preaching or sermonizing. I believe in connecting. So I won't say that it is the best thing to do in life. There are many more best things, and there are many more options in the life, hundreds and thousands of options. And it's you have to choose the option available for you, and even that which is suitable for you. In this pretty campus, I get reminded of one beautiful line by Gauri Deshpande. Gauri Deshpande, who is the granddaughter of Maharshi Karve. Gauri Deshpande was a leading novelist and a story writer in Marathi. लघु कादंबरी नावाचा एक फॉर्म होता मराठीमध्ये की जो त्यांनी खूप पॉप्युलर केला, आणि एक एक पान गळावया नावाच्या कादंबरीमधलं त्यांचं एक वाक्य आहे की त्या नायिकेची जी आई आहे, द मदर इन लॉ ऑफ द प्रोटॅगॉनिस्ट, टेल्स दॅट युअर टाइम्स आर रिअली व्हेरी टफ because you have the liberty to take your own decisions, and liberty is very dangerous because you have to be responsible for your own decisions, and you can't hold somebody else guilty of your failures. So I believe that all the women and the young men and women who are here in this auditorium come from the background where they have the liberty to join the institutions of their choice, to take up the courses of their choice, but at the same time, are they conscious of their liberty? That's a key question. What are we going to do with the liberty? Because liberty is a very volatile thing. So we have to be very careful with that. But most of the times when I see around me that the young women are busy with taking small decisions and exercising their liberty and taking up small decisions, very small decisions, that they will take a lot of time to decide which dress they are going to wear. They will spend time in deciding which kind of fashion they will follow, which kind of shades they will put on their hair, new shades, or that, I don't know the nomenclatures, that lot many things are there to decide with their liberties, and lot many platforms are also available to them to exercise their liberties. As an example, I will tell you that when a marriage ceremony is arranged, a bride is very busy to decide on the day, but she forgets what will be the post-marital life. She doesn't decide who will earn and how many children she will have, and whether that will be a biological child or a non-biological child, and what will be the principles of her own house or the home she will set up. We spend a whole lot of time deciding on the single day. We decide our lehengas, our saris, our makeup artists, but we forget to decide the life. I am here to tell you that because I am the person who have done all my career after my marriage. And this is one of the myths, that career is to be pursued before marriage, and that's why most of the time young women end up taking up the job which are very easy to catch, and they are low-hanging fruits like a career, and they end up taking soft professions. Not in our generation, your generation, but in our generations, women were busy in taking up teaching profession, banking profession, sometimes nurses, but they were not thinking of appearing for UPSC or MPSC. Why? When I analyze this, I come to know that marriage is one of the obstacles, because we have a concept like marriageable age. Marriageable age is a myth, There is nothing like a marriageable age. There is a minimal age which is decided. But parents always put pressure on women that you should marry as early as possible, because so many biological things are also have to follow after marriage. That could be the thought behind it. But most of the time, women prefer to settle. And what is the notion of being settling in life? That getting a good life partner, they not even call life partner, getting a good husband, and altering themselves into the role of a woman. And that altering makes a lot of difference to them. And they enter into their in-laws' houses without giving a serious thought to their post-marital life. When I married a guy, when I married a man, and I had a very conscious thought what I'm going to take up in my life ahead. Very conscious that even I had decided to put my child in a Marathi medium school. So that was also one of the well thought things in my life before getting married. So I think that we can think, we can plan our life, we can structure it, even if and only if we think of our liberty in a very serious manner. Liberty is, for Indian women, I always say that liberty has been gifted by the constitution makers. Like American women, we have not fought for suffragette, neither for abortion rights. So it's a kind of a gift that we have got from the constitution, and are we really conscious of it? And freedom struggle, we were there on the roads in 1942 movement also, but we never had a separate movement for women's rights. There were few sporadic, but vis-a-vis in comparison with the Western world, we had a very few movements which we had to fight for the right of women separately. Constitution has granted us equal rights with men, equal pay, equal protections. And because of that, most of the time we don't understand that what exact thought is behind that. In a progressive state, we always believe that the society is in the preceding century. Society is always in the 18th century or 19th century, but the state is in the 20th century, because state is the carrier of the social change. That's why in a government setup, why I chose this government profession, I'll tell you that I'm the person who chose humanities consciously. I was a merit ranker in my 10th. I had the choice to go for science faculty and become an engineer or a doctor, which was quite fashionable in my times. But I chose to opt for humanities. Right from my 11th, I opted for arts as my faculty and took admission to arts faculty. And then I decided that I'll study philosophy. I studied philosophy, logic, and all other literature. I specialized. But I came to know that I had the option of, I had got the scholarship of British Council for my MPhil studies, and also at that time I had cleared my state civil services. So I had the option to become a professor as well. I never deeming this profession, it has the power to influence the lives of many, especially the younger ones. But when I compare the bureaucrats, and when I saw so many bureaucrats around me, because my father was also working as a government officer, I observed that government is the machinery which works for the welfare of masses, no doubt. NGO also works for the masses, but the government has got a bigger machinery. And what is the constitution of any organization? That every organization has to have its own constitution and the principles or the motto which it has to follow in their goals that they set in. But in case of a government, what is the constitution, the constitution that which has been written by B.R. Ambedkar and the other members of the Constituent Assembly, this is the constitution on which we work as the government servant. So what is our motto? Our motto is the welfare of masses. We don't work for the profit of few. We work for the welfare of masses. So I thought that this has got a really a noble constitution, the noblest constitution to work upon and to work with. That's why I decided to be a part of government service, and I'm really very, very proud to be part of it. And as rightly said by Ms. Barve, that everywhere there is, the discrimination has its many ways. Equality has its only one way, but discrimination has very subtle ways. You can't even appreciate in your day-to-day life. Once I met a very senior politician, and a tea tray was brought in his house, and he told me that I want just 1 spoon of sugar. Actually, he was the host and I was visiting his house. So I was asked to make her tea, and I politely disagreed. I politely declined that no, you may make your own tea, sir. So this is also kind of discrimination. So discrimination has got thousands of ways, but the equality has got one way. And we have got a long way to go ahead, because there are so many subtle things which we come across in our daily lives. Simone de Beauvoir, who is the great feminist thinker whom I adore the most, she said that a woman is not born, but she becomes a woman. One is not born a woman, becomes a woman. बाई ही जन्माला येत नाही, तर ती घडवली जाते. Because a woman is taught how to laugh, how much to laugh, how to sit, how to groom herself, how to grow her hair. So perhaps the woman who is grown in a jungle, and she's accidentally, there was one case study of one woman who actually was amongst some wolves and wild beasts. She was not seen like a urban woman or the cultured woman, so-called the human woman which is there in our society. So I believe that there are so many things which we carry as a part of our conditioning, and we should learn to question it. We are not taught to question things. That is the problem of our entire conditioning and the patriarchy, because women are always preferred to be obedient. We are preferred to obedient, that nobody likes questioning women. Questioning women are very, very dangerous. And even these days I believe that women also have stopped questioning, because they are least bothered about the socio-cultural ethos of their times. I have hardly seen any woman reading newspapers these days. Once I asked a college girl which newspapers you read and which magazines you read. So she told me that I follow WhatsApp and some news portals. That's my way of reading news. I found it really very, very funny that for reading news and to read the political articles or any good reporters, she's relying on WhatsApp. So I found it pathetic, and that she was from a very renowned educational institute, and found really pathetic that she is not even understanding the value of her being a political individual. We as a woman are not recognizing ourselves as a political individual, because we don't vote also as a woman. We vote as a member of a caste, we vote as a member of a particular religion, and that's why we are least bothered what is the politics for women. As in the feminist movement, it is rightly said that the personal is political. So in a house also there is a politics, and that politics is a part of, that also has to be challenged by the feminist movement. That's why they proclaim that the personal is also political. So you can't differentiate between personal and political. So whatever happens in the political world has also got ramification for you. There are so many narratives being brought through various cinemas, various movies, various social media platforms. If you became or you support that narratives, a lot many things are come to your home also, and things are going to impact your life in a greater extent. And you should understand that, and to understand that you have to give importance to right things in your life. If you're busy in deciding your lehengas and makeup kits, then you won't understand what kind of narratives are being brought around you, and do you really belong or relate yourself to that narratives. So posing right question is the power of a good individual, a sensible individual, and I am standing here in the institution which has the great legacy of Maharshi Karve, followed by Radho Karve. Samaj Swastika Radho Karve was the man way ahead of his centuries. That is the man who said that the pleasure, the sexual and the sensual pleasure is the right of woman, and she need not have to reproduce to get that sensual pleasure, and the reproduction and the contraceptives are the right of a woman. She has the right over her body to decide whether she should give birth or not. That was a revolutionary thought of his times. So you have got that wonderful lineage, and to be proud of that lineage, you have to do something in line of that. And to do in line of that, you have to prepare yourself. And to prepare yourself, you first have to know yourself. To know yourself, you have to be conscious of yourself, and you have to do many more things which are not just for employment. So education is always not for employment, it is way beyond employment. It is for yourself. Education is that which makes you conscious of yourself. self-consciousness is the key to the transcendence. You can transcend yourself if you know yourself. We always talk of that developing, that enhancing, but when will you develop yourself? When you will know yourself. To know yourself, you have to be very, very conscious, vigilant, critical of yourself. These days we don't accept even ourselves as we are. We have so many mobile filters, camera filters, we have got Instagrams, in which whenever you try to post a photo, the edit option is automatically available. I just wonder why they are offering me to edit if I don't want to edit. So, and everybody amongst us is busy in portraying what we are not. We not even accept. Most of the times I have seen girls around me who can't even accept their non-edited photographs because they don't believe that they look like this. Why it's so? Because they are carried away by the set norms. If I'm fat, if I'm ugly, if I'm dark, I should accept myself. Being dark is not at all being unbeautiful. So I think these kinds of de-learnings are very, very essential. Sometimes de-learning should be the part of education, because education is not just about getting new things, but education is about getting a great cognitive apparatus. So cognitive apparatus is that something which is going to make you able to survive in this world, which is changing at a very, very fast rate. And to survive in this fastly changing world, you have to be connected with a good thought, school of thought, and you are lucky enough to get this great alma mater like the Radok, which was founded by Maharshi Karve. So I am really happy to be amongst you and really very, very happy to be connected with you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, ma'am.